Sam Shoemate was invited to talk about his book, The Bridge Crew, at the 9th Annual Ashe County Family History Weekend, given at the Ashe County Public Library on Saturday, April 21st, 2007. This event was sponsored by the Ashe County Historical Society in Jefferson, North Carolina.
You got the title, The Bridge Crew, because that's the title my Uncle John Paul Jones gave us kids, because we met on the bridge in the middle of Warrensville. And the bridge had a pedestrian crosswalk with nice 2x6 tops on it, so that made good seating. And it was under a huge sycamore tree, so we had plenty of shade. I'm proud of my heritage. In fact, I could even speak better English if I wanted to, but I prefer to keep my mountain dialect anyway. My mother, who was a Johnson, whose mother was a Jones, married a Shoemate from Wilkes County. And they were together long enough to have me. I always told people that my father was an electrician and I was the worst shock he ever got. Well, Fulton Roden ran Yates' store. Yates' store sold everything, nuts, bolts, hardware, feed, seed, just a general store. And Fulton was a tall, skinny man, a few words. He beat anything I've ever seen. He didn't have an ad machine, he didn't need one. We'd ride our wagons down Church Hill, we called it, because there's two churches, Baptist Church at the foot of the hill, Methodist Church on up on the hill. And of course, every time it rained, it washed the dirt off the rocks, so Church Hill was a rocky road. And we'd ride our wagons down through there. Of course, naturally, the vibration and the weight would tear them up. So we'd go over to Yates' store to get us a nut or a bowl or a washer. And Fulton would always fix us up, and sometimes even help us repair the wagon. I'd say, charge it to Butch, my half brother, who also lived there. Butch would say, charge it to Jimmy, the other half brother, who was still in training pains. And we'd go home. Because that's how we got our groceries at home. We went over and got our groceries and we said, charge it. So we knew that's how you got stuff. So for years we charged that stuff to Jimmy. One of those telephone poles that didn't get torn down was right by the road in front of our house. And it stood there for years with the wires hanging down. And a fellow named, I believe it was Frog Hartzog, used to date Aunt Sandy. And he had no 44, and he'd come in, he'd back up next to that telephone pole, and then when he left, he'd pull her in gear, rev her up, pop the clutch, and go spinning out of there. And my grandmother used to complain about that something terrible. I thought it was great. And Aunt Sandy must have been impressed too. Well, one Sunday he came and went to sleep, laid down on the couch and went to sleep there. Well, that made Aunt Sandy kind of mad. She wanted to know how to get in, so we pushed Frog's car off down to the bridge camp and left it. And we walked back to the house. And when Frog woke up, his car was gone. And of course, thought it had been stolen. Well, we didn't have telephones, couldn't call the sheriff. We didn't have a car, couldn't go get one. So poor Frog was just about ready to cry when Aunt Sammy finally told him what we did. Well, he couldn't get too mad at her, so he pulled my hair. I had something. I thought, I'm going to get even that old boy one of these days. Not just a young fella, 12 years old. Well, next time he backed in there, I tied that wire. And I hid when it's time for him to go because I wanted to see that show. He revved her up and he popped the clutch and he took off and he went a few feet in the back end of that old 44 that came off the ground. But the pole was broken. And it broke off at the ground and started over just as his car came back down, and thank goodness it caught traction and shot out from under it. Well, Grandma came out to see what was the commotion, and she ran out and hugged his neck. She said, "Oh, Frog, thank you so much. I wanted that pole down." I still stayed pretty clear of Frog for a while after that because he knew who had done it. They built the new bridge to replace the good old bridge There was a lady engineer came up from Raleigh, and I could tell how smart she was when I made the statement that, why don't you take the $2 million you're going to build this bridge that doesn't go anywhere, just over there in dead ends, and raise some of these low water bridges around here that go somewhere. Her answer was, there are no low water bridges. I said, ma'am, there's 4 within a 2-mile radius of where we're standing. So I could tell she was really on the ball, right? And she got to arguing with me about the right-of-way of the highway. She said it's a 100-foot right-of-way. I said, no, ma'am, it's a 50-foot right-of-way. She said, how do you know? I said, because I grew up watching a sign rot down that said, right-of-way of this highway, 25 feet each side of center line, hauling roadsmen prohibited, SH and PWC. I said, if that was a 100-foot right-of-way, I would be sitting on your right-of-way watching television in my den. She said, why did you build your house so close to the road? I said, ma'am, why did your state build their road so close to my house? Was Warrensville thing. Now it's been bypassed. A few years ago, I almost got in trouble with the state, and I didn't mean to. But I thought, you know, you can turn off on Northwest School Road and come over to Warrensville. You can go on up and turn down 194 and turn down the old 88 by Ralph Davis's house and post office and get to Warrensville. You can go up by the Methodist Church and turn down and come down into Warrensville. You can go to the other end of Northwest School Road, which was old 194, and come back into Warrensville. And I got the bright idea. I cut out some signs with nice curves on the edges to look like interstate signs. And I painted them green, just like on the interstate. And we lettered them, said Warrensville. Next 4 exits. To my family, I attribute most of it to the privilege of growing up in Warrensville. Like buildings, people must have a firm foundation in order to withstand storms of life. The bridge crew, their parents and neighbors got us off to a good start. We didn't know it then. We do now.